good morning Nigeria, good morning world. Yes, it's another Thursday, and from my playlist you already know I'm in the mood for the weekend. Yes, my weekend has started here today. Welcome to your number one Pan-African radio, UDR Radio, and you're listening to your morning show, the best start for your day. It's the Coffee Mornings with Halima and Fat Kemisala. Unfortunately, Fat Kemisala is not in the building today. Yes, she's always offending me now. So today I sent her on one very small errand. If she's a good girl, she might just be back on Tuesday. But if she's a good girl, welcome to the show. Today is terrific Thursday. That means we are going to be giving you some terrific music from our playlist, which I have already started. But like we do every morning, we start our days with some motivation, something to get you going, something to let you know that whatever you're facing, you can always overcome whatever challenge you think you think you're going through. And today on motivation, we have every great story on the planet happened when someone decided not to give up, but kept going no matter what. That's to tell you that whatever it is you're going through right now, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I have a saying: when I'm going through something really tough, I tell myself, Halima, just one more step. One little step, just that baby step. It doesn't have to be a giant step, just a baby step. Just go a little bit further, and know that definitely you're going to end where you really, really want to be. The story back to our own country. Yes. This piece of news is really, really exciting. You guys remember yesterday where we told you about Goodluck Jonathan saying President Buhari is harassing his family, is like witch hunting his family, trying to do this, trying to do that, forgetting that his wife, the money that was found traced back to his wife, she actually came out to say yes, it's a money, and I don't think it should be something you would say that this is a witch hunt. It's not a witch hunt, but either way, special advisor to the President Muhammadu Buhari on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, is coming out to say that the president is saying, I am not harassing Goodluck Jonathan's family, so he needs to stop going about saying that. Now, Jonathan is said to have made the allegation in a book titled Against the Run of Play, like we told you earlier, like we told you yesterday, which was written by the chairman of this day's editorial board, Olusegun Adeniyi. Now, Buhari is, however, denying the claims via a statement released by his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina. The statement reads that we make bold to state unequivocally that President Buhari harasses nobody. He merely allows the law to take its course. Now, for the upteenth time, we say that anybody without a skeleton in his or her cupboard has nothing to fear about the bird fangs of the anti-corruption initiative. Fear belongs only to those who have abused trust while in office. Anybody who feels aggrieved is free to approach the courts to seek redress or justice. President Buhari believes in the rule of law, and that is why his campaign against corruption is anchored on that plank. With regard to President Buhari's anti-graft style, which the former president deprecates, given the scale of revelations and recovery so far by the anti-corruption agencies, it is obvious that corruption had an uninhibited course during our recent past. That's a shade, right? Yeah, that's a shade. In any case, time will give the verdict on whose style of fighting corruption ultimately yielded the most dividends. Another shade. For now, President Buhari is resolute and single-minded in the fact that his crusade against graft is not targeted at any individual or group. This one is coming from Tinubu, the very powerful APC leader, is saying that Saraki and El Rufai convinced Buhari not to pick him as VP. Okay, I'm really not very sure about that, but I will just give you a little bit of background on that. The national leader of All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has revealed how some members of the party worked against him in the build-up to the 2015 elections. He said the Senate President Bukola Saraki and Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State frustrated the plan to make him President Muhammadu Buhari's running mate in the presidential election. Buhari said other chieftains of the People's Democratic Party who had defected to the APC were also part of the gang that pressured Buhari not to pick him. The ex-governor of Lagos State disclosed this in a book titled, I'm sure you already know the book I want to talk about, in a book titled Against the Run of Play, written by Segun Adeniyi, the chairman editorial board of This Day. Okay, this is one of the reasons why I really need to get this book. It's like a confessional for all of our past leaders and current powerful people to just say whatever it is they've been holding back in their hearts for a long time. Back to the news now. Tinubu said his opponents convinced Buhari using religion that a Muslim ticket could cost the party the election. But the APC leader said the argument was not genuine. He said El-Rufai was pushing for Pastor Tunde Bakari of the Lateran Assembly to be picked as Buhari's running mate. Tinubu added, what they, Saraki and others from the PDP now did behind my back was wrong. We always do things as a group. By the time they joined, we were already too far ahead in our processes, but we accommodated them. We agreed to take their state structures and subsume them into the path, and they all had their opportunity to nominate the candidates of their choice for different political offices. But they went behind to instigate Buhari and some other people in the party against me on the pretext of religion. That was not right. They were canvassing arguments that the Christians in the north would not vote for a Muslim ticket. Nasir El-Rufai was also selling the same arguments within the CPC, that's the now defunct Congress for Progressive Change, because at that point he still wanted to have Pastor Bakari brought in as Buhari's running mate. Now, he said some senators and governors at the time who defected from the PDP asked him on the eve of the primaries if he and Buhari have agreed to run together. Buhari said he dodged the question because they wanted to make it a condition for supporting Buhari. He said without their support, Buhari might not have emerged winner of the primaries. In the news today that the VP's committee, that's Oshibajo's committee, demands Senate interim report on SGF. Now, the Vice President Yemi Oshibajo-led committee investigating allegations of due process violation in award of contracts on the Presidential Initiative on Northeast has requested the Senate to furnish it with relevant documents on the matter. Chairman Ad hoc Committee on Mounting Humanitarian Crisis in the Northeast, Senator Shehu Sani, confirmed receipt of a letter on the issue in an interview with newsmen on Wednesday. That was yesterday. Now, he said Oshiba, the chairman of the Committee of Inquiry, in a letter dated April 21st, requested for the Senate Ad hoc Committee's report on the suspended Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babachir Lawal. According to him, the Vice President stated in the letter that the committee required documents from the Senate for appropriate consideration. The Presidential Committee set up to look into the allegations of due process violation in award of contracts on the Pine has written to us to make available reports of our findings. I confirm that we got the letter and we will provide the documents to the committee. Meanwhile, the Senate Ad hoc Committee has asked Lawal to appear before it on April 27th by 10 a.m. That's in about 37 minutes. It should be in front of the committee. Now, Sani, who also confirmed this, said a letter had been written to Lawal requesting him to attend a rescheduled public hearing on the allegations. The committee had invited Lawal to appear before it for a second time on March 15th. However, Lawal, in a letter dated March 22nd, requested for a reschedule of the meeting to a more appropriate time. The Senate Ad hoc Committee, in an interim report, indicted Lawal in the award of contracts under the Pine. The call for Lawal's resignation followed alleged contravention of the provisions of Public Procurement Act and the federal government's financial rules and regulations pertaining to awards of contracts by him. While presenting the report to the Senate, Sani said that the committee discovered that some of the contracts were awarded to companies belonging to top government officials, cronies, and family members. Imagine that. That's what I was just saying. Just imagine that. Now, he explained that the committee found out that Roller Vision Engineering Limited, a company in which Lawal was allegedly a director, was awarded consultancy Consultancy contract. The company's major role, according to him, is the removal of invasive plant species in Yobe on March 8th. If you're just joining us, we've had our usual early morning motivation. We've had news around the world. We've had political gist, political news. And now we're going to gist around Nigeria. Here today we have some really sad news all the way from Akwa Ibom. A mobile engineer breaks his wife's head with hammer. Okay, an engineer with ExxonMobil has been called out by women rights groups after he battered his wife and broke her head with a hammer. According to Prince Abubakar Faiz, who posted the photos of the woman, Untiense bought a carry on the Facebook page of Due Process Advocates. The incident happened during a domestic quarrel between the engineer and his wife at their residence, one Udo Umo Close, Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital. In the photos posted on the page, Unte Seabot is pictured with her injured and bleeding head as a result of the beating the mother of 5 got from her husband. This is how Afiz actually captured the incident. He said she was battered by her husband, domestic violence. Her husband hit her head with a hammer and threw her out or at an ungodly hour of the night. The man's name is engineer and near team for Festus Ekere and works with ExxonMobil. The worst part is that they've been married for 20 years with 5 children. This man arrested the wife because he had bribed the police after treating her like a dog. We want justice for this woman. What can this group fight for her? It is not known if the engineer has actually been arrested by the police, but several human rights groups have called on the police to wade in and get justice for the battered woman. We keep saying it here on UDR Coffee Mornings. Please stop beating your wives, and please, women in domestic violence, please, in violent relationships, please get some help. Nothing is above your life. Nothing is more valuable than your own life. Moving on to another really interesting news. There's been a beef between the fact that we even call this a beef is more of an insult to the Ooni of Ife than any other thing. There's been a beef between the Oba of Lagos and Ooni of Ife. Okay, the Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, was in a video that circulated on social media yesterday, trying to greet the Oba of Lagos. Now, if you're Yoruba from Nigeria, you know that the Ooni of Ife is a paramount ruler. He's not a big bear, yeah, like my people would say. He's not an ordinary king. He's actually very powerful and really high in the hierarchy. And then he was seen trying to greet the Oba of Lagos. The Oba of Lagos was sitting down, and he, with all of his power, this man, to show you how humble he is, that's the Ooni of Ife now. He was actually bowing to greet this man, and the Oba of Lagos just curved him. He just raised his hand like, yeah, you know when you want to curve somebody, you just raise his hand, yeah. That was exactly what happened, and there was a whole lot of outrage on social media about it. There was outrage on how could you, I mean, people got really angry. There was different hashtags trending, trying to let us know that what the Oba of Lagos did was wrong, and we definitely agree with that. You do not okay, let me say it in Yoruba. The Oba of Lagos, yeah. he actually really went really far with that. But I'm going to give you a little bit of history on the Yoruba land hierarchy of Obas. In the Yoruba land, we have Obas, and then there are Obas. Now, in the setup, the Ooni of Ife is the supreme monarch and is regarded as the father of the Yorubas. No Oba in Yoruba land actually has the authority or power to disrespect the Ooni of Ife. Now, during the ancient times, when several Yoruba kingdoms were fighting amongst themselves, it was known that no one would wage a war against Ile-Ife. Ile-Ife to today is regarded as the spiritual home of the Yorubas. No Oba did wage war against the Ooni of Ife. It was an abomination. Now, in this modern time, yeah, the Ooni of Ife still holds the power over all Yoruba Obas. In Nigeria, the Ooni of Ife is one of the top monarchs in Nigeria. Now, to think that the Ooni of Ife is really young, is really young. He was recently installed, so he's really young, and I think that's why a whole lot of this other Obas that are way older than him just they think they can just disrespect him because of the age. But the thing is, in Yoruba land, there is nothing like in the Yoruba people say "kosi kekere ano," and that's just in-laws. Like there is no, you can't say your in-law is too young, so you can insult them. Now give the same, just imagine the same scenario with the Obas in Yoruba land. The Ooni of Ife is not an ordinary king. He is the king. Is not the kind of king that you disrespect, especially at a public function where the entire world could actually see what went wrong. But I like the fact that the Ooni of Ife is really humble, and he's still coming out to say that he holds no grudges against the Oba of Lagos, that's Oba Rilo and Akiolu. He says that he still holds him in high esteem. Thank you very much for being a part of our morning today. Thank you very much for being a part of my morning. Yeah, I'm claiming today because Fakem Salah has been a bad shite. Yeah. Thank you very much for being a part of my morning. Thank you very much for allowing me to be a part of your morning. Remember, every great story started when whoever was involved decided not to give up, or rather kept moving on. This is me saying good morning Lagos, good morning Nigeria, good morning Africa, good morning world. From UDR Coffee Mornings, my name is Halima. Back in it. Thank you for listening.